So today I'm making a top 10 on TURs that I think have bad EZA design, and all of these top 10 TURs are limited to Dokkan Fest TURs only. So let's go ahead and start out at number 10. At number 10 I have Physical Super Vegito. I think the problem with Physical Super Vegito, him and AGL Super Vegito as a whole, is that they don't have outright damage reduction. Listen, I think that if you are in an LR that has counters, I understand that Dokkan is afraid of those because LRs with counters are very, very powerful. For example, STR Super Vegito has built-in crits with his counters. In LR Super Vegito has damage reduction with his counters. I understand if they went easy on those cards, but if they go easy on these TURs who have counters, I do not understand that because that is not the way to go with these cards. Building these TURs that have counters with just flat out damage reduction against normal attacks is not the way to go. Provided this unit is not going up against a unit that he's not type advantage against, he's not killing them with his counters. TURs are not wiping bosses off the map with their counters. Sorry, meta content, it's not happening. More often than not, this guy's just going to be your third slot, second slot tank to build him up. And he builds up quite easily. Sure, he has built-in crit. He has a high damage reduction against normal attacks. He has defense. He's good. That should be 80% damage reduction outright. And if they're going to go ahead and put damage reduction on these counter units, put it with HP threshold. That's how you fix it. It's so easy. It is very, very easy. And that is why I think Physical Super Vegito is at number 10. He has the defense, he has the built-in crits, his attack stats very mid, but this guy can definitely still go through meta content regardless of the fact. Coming up at number 9, we have Physical Dragon Ball Super Broly. Now, the problem I have with this EZA is that he loses defense when he transforms into full power Broly. I'm taking 20% defense over 80% attack any day of the week because that is exactly what he loses. Dokkan, I'm not feeling that design. Him losing defense after he transforms is not really the wave. That coupled with the fact that this guy is an RNG machine, and if he does not get multiple super attacks off to raise his defense, he can look a bit fraudulent. Sure, he can look solid on the offensive end, but the problem is that we have way too many offensive units in the red zone meta anyway, so who cares about offense? Coming at number 8, we have STR Rose. Now, the thing is with STR Rose is that his final blow mechanic, if he does not get his final blow off, his defense is looking quite mid. We do not care about this effective against all types when he gets his final blow. We only care about this additional attack and defense. He does not get his final blow off, this guy can look very mid defensively. Sure, he can look great outside of meta content. He's attack debuffer to superclass enemies by 30%, which is very, very big and monstrous. He gives extreme class allies 3 key and 50% defense, as well as 50% attack to Realm of Gods category allies. And this guy gains 50% defense on super attack, as well as being an extreme class support on his super attack. Like, he's good on multiple fronts of his passive and his super attack effect. But the problem is, you ever opt to run this guy inside meta content, you must have him get the final blow. If he does not crit and finish off the enemy, guys, his defense is looking quite mid. So coming up at number 7, we have STR Janemba. The problem with STR Janemba is the fact that when Janemba is out, Janemba was still probably a better option to run over STR Super Janemba. Is that weird to say? It's odd that I'm saying that because STR Super Janemba, all they did in difference of these two cards is give him a more additional attack and defense at the start of the turn. Let's go ahead and get in Super Janemba. Yeah, in Janemba right next to STR Janemba, it's like there's not too many differences. He gains additional 30% attack and defense more than in Janemba's 7% attack and defense to start turn. They both guard, they both have dodge chance, except in Janemba still technically hits harder than this guy, and it's odd because this guy should be flat out better than in Janemba. If you take a look at STR Gogeta compared to Int Gogeta, it's no contest. You take a look at STR Super Janemba compared to Int Super Janemba, they're like hand in hand. It's so weird. It's very, very odd that they kept them together like that. So coming at number 6, we have Int Angel Golden Frieza. Now, Int Angel Golden Frieza is probably one of the more underwhelming EZAs to come out of 2022 because he's restricted quite a bit. The reason why I'm saying that is because A, you have to be going up against a superclass enemy, and B, you have to have a Reps Universe 7 category ally attacking in the same turn. Not in the team, on the same turn. He left the attack debuff on allies, but didn't just put it together as a whole. Why not just make it all enemies minus 22% attack, rather than just leaving it. Like, they had to cut it in half. Now, sure, minus 7% attack to all allies is not really that big of a deal, but they left an attack debuff to your allies on it, which is still annoying. So them leaving a attack debuff to allies on his passive, forcing you to go up against superclass enemies, and having you have a Rep or 7 category character for him to be effective against all types is not that impressive. We don't care if you're effective against all types, and going up against superclass enemies in the red zone back in June of 2022 is not a feat that you was able to do at all, because at the time the Gamma's red zone stages weren't out, and if you ran this guy in the red zone stage for Gamma's anyways, he's getting completely dismantled. So Golden Frieza is just outright bad. I'm sorry, he's just bad. This is bad design as a whole. Next up is Int Kid Buu. I think the only problem with Int Kid Buu, I'm not going to bring him up, is the fact that them not doing enough for Int Kid Buu was not really great, because Int Kid Buu really needed it. Him being a Buu unit, they had to go all out with Int Kid Buu, but they didn't go all out with Kid Buu, and I didn't really like that factor. They should have made him a support type unit to extreme class allies. They should have gave him some dodge. They should have gave him some stun, something, like, anything. Right? They could have gave Int Kid Buu anything. No, they just made him a support type unit to extreme class characters and modern power characters by 2 key. 2 key, yeah. Int Kid Buu, it's like, as quick as he came is as quick as he's gone. Next up is Int Buuhan. Now, you could make the case that Int Buuhan was able to do well inside the Legendary Goku event, but the thing is that back in 2019, which is where he got his EZA, right? Let me get Buuhan. Buuhan. You guys can make the case that Int Buuhan could completely destroy Int UI Goku in one turn, because he is a nuker, and if he crits, Int Buuhan crits that Int UI Goku, he could do a massive amount of damage. But outside of the nuking aspect, this guy's EZA was not really the craziest. Wasn't really the craziest. I think the thing is with Int Buuhan is that them not giving him an attack and defensive buff at the start of the turn, and not giving him like attack defensive buff on super attack to help him out further, rather than just leave him with just his nuking, did not really go too far for him. Basically, to sum it up, this guy just didn't get enough at all. They kept him as a nuking healer, which is what he was known as, and that was really all they wrote for Int Buuhan. Int Buuhan, not really particularly enough. Could he be usable inside the meta that he came out during? Yes, but I think that he didn't get enough whatsoever. So moving on over to number 3, we have AGL Super Vegito. Now, I think the big issue with AGL Super Vegito is that he has way more issues than Physical Super Vegito. Now, Physical Super Vegito, it's like he has built-in crit chance, he has defense, he has this, that, and the third. But AGL Super Vegito, the only thing that he got going for him is the fact that he has an attack defensive buff when he receives the attack, and that is particularly about it. You are rarely ever going to see this foresee enemy super attacks when your HP is 40% or less, but when you do, it is definitely going to help. But the issue is with this guy, he gets tagged with a super attack, he dies. Yes, he gets tagged with a super attack, just like Physical Super Vegito, he's getting clobbered. Unless, for whatever reason, you live with a Slither, which is highly unlikely, and then you have this guy come on turn and go ahead and have him see super attacks. The problem is that this guy's just not doing particularly enough. I would easily say that this is one of the most disappointing EZAs of 2020, for sure. Even though he came out December 5th of 2019, this is one of the more disappointing EZAs of 2020, because this guy is, AGL Super Vegito was a big disappointment. And it really hurts, because he could have been way better. You know what? Rather than just giving these counter units just outright damage reduction and restricting it to a HP threshold, which I think is a good idea, why don't you just give him the Scouter when above a specific amount of HP? Dokkan? I'm writing ideas. I'm helping. These counter unit TURs are not vaporizing bosses like that unless they're going up against some type advantage and you get lucky with all those crits. Coming at number 2, we have Teq Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Now, the problem with Teq Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is that they essentially gave him nothing. The main problem with Teq Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is the fact that he had to be below 11 or less key to get his 70% defense, and he only had 140% attack from forming a super attack, which is cool because he can hit hard. But the thing is that who cares? 2019, we already had units that were hitting hard, so this guy's EZA wasn't that special. That coupled with the fact that this is all he had. It's like they did essentially nothing with Gotenks. It is so crazy. Sure, they changed a couple super attack effects. He went from extreme damage to supreme damage right over here on his 12 key, and he also raise attack on his 9 key, but that's really about it for Teq Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. He's essentially a bare bones EZA. And coming in at number 1, we have Teq Super Saiyan 3 Broly. The problem with Teq Super Saiyan 3 Broly is the fact that he still got a defensive debuff per key sphere obtained, and the weird thing about his EZA is that this guy came out a month before Super 17. What? Super 17 comes out a month after Teq Super Saiyan 3 Broly's EZA, and guess what? Super 17 is still usable in the red zone today. Why they do Teq Super Saiyan 3 Broly the way they did, I don't know, but that is my top 10. Coming at number 10, Physical Super Vegito. Number 9, we have Dragon Ball Super Broly. Number 8, we have STR Rose. Number 7, we have Janemba. Number 6, we have Int Golden Frieza. Number 5 and 4, we have Kid Buu and Buhan. Number 3, we have AGL Super Vegito. Number 2, we have Teq Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. And number 1, we have Teq Super Saiyan 3 Broly. This is my list, but I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.